morning and welcome to SpaceX and Axiom Space's splashdown coverage of AX-3, the third crewed mission to the International Space Station by Axiom Space. I'm Jesse Anderson, a manufacturing engineering manager here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California.
And I'm John Rackham, spacesuit ventilation lead for Axiom Space, based in Houston, Texas. With over 21 days in space, our crew spent just over 18 days aboard the International Space Station. And while on board, they experienced more than 288 orbits and covered over 7.6 million miles. And now we are in the final phase of their journey. Over the next hour, we will follow the return of Commander Michael Lopez Alegria, Walter Villadei, Alper Gezeravcı, and Marcus Wandt as they splash down off the coast of Florida and bring the operational phases of the AX-3 mission to a close.
Over the last 40 hours, Dragon has been moving into position for re-entry with downhill phasing burns, firings of Dragon's Draco thrusters to adjust the spacecraft's orbit in advance of returning to Earth. The next action coming up for Dragon will be to jettison the trunk, which is the cylindrical, unpressurized part of the spacecraft. Once the trunk is separated, Dragon will be running entirely on battery power. The trunk is currently connected to the aft or the bottom section of the Dragon capsule where the heat shield is located. From there, the spacecraft will use its forward Draco thrusters to perform a deorbit burn, which will last about 9 minutes, and put Dragon on a trajectory to return to Earth. This will be the last time that we use those forward bulkhead thrusters. After that, we will close and lock the nose cone in preparation for re-entry. During re-entry, as Dragon passes back into the Earth's atmosphere, we will have an expected loss of communication, sometimes referred to as an LOS, or loss of signal. This particular LOS is caused by the friction of the spacecraft pushing through the air at a high rate of speed to the point that it builds up a layer of super hot plasma around the vehicle. This plasma will dissipate and the communications will resume once the vehicle slows down. This LOS should last approximately 7 minutes. Throughout this time, nitrox is used to cool the cabin and the suits to keep the crew comfortable. Nitrox is a mixed breathable gas that is also used in scuba diving. After we regain communication with Dragon, we'll have a couple minutes before the drogue parachutes deploy. These are the 2 smaller parachutes that are designed to stabilize Dragon and begin to slow it down. Less than a minute after the drogue parachutes deploy, we'll see release of the 4 main parachutes. These are the big orange and white parachutes that further slow the vehicle down. Over the course of 3 minutes, the drogues and the mains work together to bring the vehicle's velocity from 350 miles per hour down to just 15 miles per hour, at which point Dragon will splash back down on Earth.
And when it does, SpaceX knows exactly where Dragon is expected to land, with recovery teams pre-positioned in the area. These teams are trained to quickly make contact with the Dragon spacecraft, secure it, and then hoist it aboard the main recovery vessel. From there, teams will open the hatch and help Commander MLA.
5 minutes. SpaceX Dragon, wake up.
And from there, teams will open the hatch and help Commander MLA, Walter, Alper, and Marcus out of Dragon Freedom. Well, the AX-3 mission has been remarkable from start to finish in a number of ways, and each of these missions iterate on the process of flying to and living on station. Each of these missions, each crew, help open that door to low Earth orbit just a little bit further. And this crew has certainly done just that, as they stayed very busy while on station.
Yes, they have. So let's take a moment and properly introduce the crew. The commander of our mission, Michael Lopez Alegria, or MLA, is no stranger to human spaceflight. He is a dual citizen of the United States and Spain. AX-3 marks his 6th mission to space, having completed 3 space shuttle flights and a Soyuz mission as a NASA astronaut prior to commanding AX-1 with Axiom Space. MLA holds the NASA record for both the total number of spacewalks and the cumulative amount of time conducting spacewalks. Today, when not in low Earth orbit, MLA serves as Axiom Space's chief astronaut.
And from Italy, our pilot is Colonel Walter Villadei. This mission is his inaugural trip to low Earth orbit. Villadei, a colonel in the Italian Air Force, currently serves as head of the Italian Air Force's representative office in the United States. He has completed cosmonaut training as a space engineer, participated in multiple analog training missions, and flown a variety of aircraft and missions as an active flight engineer in the Italian Air Force. This mission is significant for Italy in that it commemorates the 100th year since the founding of the Italian Air Force.
From Türkiye, our third crew member is mission specialist Alper Gezeravcı. Through this mission, Alper has become the first Turkish astronaut to go to space. With 15 years of experience across a myriad of aircraft for the Turkish Air Force, Gezeravcı got his start in the Air Force Academy in Istanbul, Turkey, and earned a master's degree from the U.S. Air Force Institute of Technology. He then flew as a commercial airline captain for several years before returning to duty in the Turkish Air Force. On a further note, this mission marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Republic of Turkey.
And finally, from Sweden, we have mission specialist Marcus Wandt. A lieutenant colonel in the Swedish Air Force, Marcus flew 9 years as a fighter pilot and graduated from the U.S. Navy Test Pilot School at the top of his class. In November of 2022, Marcus was selected by the European Space Agency as an astronaut reserve. However, with the AX-3 mission, he becomes the first project astronaut in ESA's history, a new designation within their ranks. And through this mission, he becomes only the second ESA astronaut of Swedish nationality to ever go to the International Space Station, a milestone marked in a year of jubilee as the 500th anniversary of the founding of the country of Sweden.